Okay, y'all, and take three. For whatever reason, I cannot see people hopping on, so hopefully this time it will work. In order for me to invite you, there we are. Okay, I'm starting to see people hop on. For whatever reason, everything disappeared the other time and I could not see my guests. So, yay, I'm so excited. It's working now. Welcome, happy Wednesday, take three. Three's a charm, right, y'all? Anyhow, I'm so excited to have y'all tonight. We will not keep you too long. I'm sorry, there's a bit of a delay, but that's technology, am I right? So, if you are hopping on, be sure and say hello so I know you're here and I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. And let's get this party started. I'm super thrilled. We have an incredible special guest tonight. And hopefully you got to read a little bit about her. Hey, Christy. And I will be inviting her on here in just a moment and just letting a few more of our friends hop on. I can see I'm getting some more guests now, which is awesome. So as you hop on, hey Katie, throw me an emoji or say hey so I know you're here. And I'm just ready to get this started. I hope everyone is having a fantastic middle of their week. It's hump day, thank goodness. It's Spirit Week at school and every morning is super stressful right now with the costumes. So it's like the never ending week. So I have my glass of wine here, cheers. And I'm excited to talk to y'all and I'm excited to have our special guest. So as we get going here, I'm just sort of introduce myself real quick for those of you that don't know me. I know, right, Katie? My name is Chris, and I am a wife and a mom, and I'm just super passionate about healthy living, and especially being an advocate for better beauty and personal care, which is what we are here to talk about this evening. So we have been in this challenge now for almost 3 weeks. It ends on Sunday, the 21-day challenge. I sure hope it's been really helpful to my friends that joined us. Myself and Caroline and Michelle have worked really hard at trying to bring you some really valuable information. We hope we succeeded. We know the first week there was a bit of a delay. Unfortunately, we're here in South Carolina and Hurricane Florence decided to make her debut, or it might have been a male. I can't remember if we're on a male or female naming pattern right now, but made its debut, and unfortunately South Carolina and North Carolina were hit pretty hard, and some unfortunately are still facing the devastation of that and are being flooded, and rivers are still cresting or have not crested yet and are facing that. And my heart goes out to all of them, and you're all in my prayers every single day. And some dear friends of mine are dealing with it as well, and their families are, and so we put this on hold for just a few days. While that was going on, we lost a little time, but hopefully we made it up to y'all, and we do have a few days left. Michelle went live earlier tonight. If you have not caught that yet, it is good stuff, and it's actually a great segue into our chat this evening. She talked about personal care. She talked about what we put on our largest organ, which is our skin, and how that does impact your health directly. And the dog's gonna bark a little bit. Sorry, y'all. And she really touched on what we're gonna talk about this evening, specifically the mission of Beautycounter. So I'm thrilled to get to talk to y'all about this tonight. So little by little, I'm seeing more friends hopping on. If you don't catch us live, that's okay. Catch the replay. And it will be posted, so you can do that, and feel free to invite friends after the fact as well that you feel need to hear this. And also, please be sure and circle up after this live with who invited you, who personally invited you tonight, with any questions or anything and any following up that you might have. It might be myself or Caroline, Michelle, or anyone else who invited you here tonight, okay? And feel free to post questions in the comments and we'll try to get to them. If not, we can also answer them in the comments after the live is over, because everyone's time is valuable and we don't want to keep you all night. So let's get started. Let's see, I've already introduced myself. I'm a little mixed up with my notes here simply because of our snafu with the technology, but just to segue into this a little bit, we're here to talk to you about the least regulated industry, which is personal care and beauty. And like I said, what we put on our skin, our largest organ, does absolutely enter the bloodstream. It's said within 26 seconds. There is no filter. Much unlike what we eat, there is a filtration system through our body. We digest, we have kidneys, we have liver, which is sort of our detox filtration system. What we put on our skin, unfortunately, there is no barrier, and it does go into our bloodstream, and it does lead to disease, and it makes people very, very sick, and a whole slew of issues due to something we call hormone disruption that Christy's also going to tell us a little bit more about. I'm going to introduce her real quick before I invite her on. So Christy Hucks is amazing. She is an inspiration. She is a founding member of Beautycounter, which is a mission-based company. It is a B corporation. It's planet and people before profits, education first, which is what we have strived to do over the last 3 weeks, and what we're going to strive to do this evening as well through her voice, which is an incredible voice. And she is so passionate about this mission, because that is what this is. We're a movement, and it's happening and it's changing, but she's so passionate about it, y'all, that her family has personally been affected by this hurricane, and her life has been crazy, and she is that passionate about this that she wishes to share her message this evening with all of you and her story. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Christy on. And everybody please cross your fingers for me that technology decides to be kind to me this evening. I'm you now. Let's see, let me know if you see the invitation, Christy. Hopefully it'll work.
Hey, Chris.
Yay! Hey, Christy. Ah, thank goodness, that was stressful.
I know, we got it worked out.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much for being
welcome.
here, taking the time. I know that all of our time is precious, but you've got a lot going on, so thank you.
Hey, Melanie. I know I've got this whole thing set up like on a cooler, on the table, in a stand. Like I don't ever really do this. I'm in a different environment, like you talked about. I'm at my in-laws' house. I'm not in my office. I'm like, but dogs are going to bark. That's okay. This is life. This is what's great. So, hey, everybody. I see Heather, Nikki,
Hey,
Emily.
y'all.
Hey, we must be on a different page. We must be like live. How did that happen?
We might be.
That's okay though.
That's okay though.
It's okay. We were supposed to be going live at an event, and all of a sudden it's everywhere, and that's okay. Hey, everybody.
It might be because I've tagged you and you just hopped on, so we might be live on your page.
Oh gosh. Well, here we go.
Do you want me to untag it? I think I can untag it right here.
You can try to do that. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want me to do. You want me to untag?
It won't hurt for people to hear what I've got to say, I guess.
That's totally up to you.
Okay.
If you want me to try to
You can try.
Let's see here. Because I just was typing in your name, and I guess it tagged you automatically by accident. So
we're live in the 21-day cleanup challenge. Okay.
Oh, we are in the challenge. Okay. Oh,
Whitney, what wall am I on? Am I on my own personal wall?
No, you should be in the challenge. I tagged you in the challenge because you're in the challenge.
Okay. Well, this is technology for us tonight, so we'll just
somebody go and check. How about somebody go and check for us and let us know, and then we can figure it out.
Okay. Well, I'm hopping on tonight as a guest of Chris because she wanted me to talk a little bit about what I do with Beautycounter, my journey with Beautycounter, and hop on this 21-day challenge that she's doing, which is all about cleaning up your life in lots of different ways, from the food you eat to the supplements you take. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and it's a total package. So tonight, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my journey with healthy living and kind of what brought me here. So I've been with Beautycounter for 4 years, a little over 4 years. July was my 4-year anniversary. And when I started this, when I started Beautycounter, I really didn't know half of what I know now. So if you're watching this tonight and you think, this all sounds like Mandarin Chinese, do you trust me? I get it. We've been there. And, it's a process. But what started it for me was my son, when he was born, he had eczema and allergies and things that, my first child didn't have. And he was diagnosed with asthma at the age of 1, which is very, very rare. And I wanted to be able to help him. And, you know, I'm so thankful for modern medicine. And I'm thankful that we have albuterol and the things that we need. But I wanted to not have to use it as much. So I started this journey on to how could I clean up his little life. And one thing led to another. And finally, Beautycounter was brought into my life and changed his skin within a matter of weeks. And even though I said no to the opportunity probably 3 or 4 times before, you know, because this is not my wheelhouse at all. For those of you that know me, I had a law degree. I'd never sold anything in my life. So for me, it wasn't about selling. It was about what it had done for my son, what it had done for my family. And I just wanted to share that with others. And that it started very organically like that. Fast forward 4 years and here we are talking about it. So, Chris, I know you probably have some questions for me that you
Yes.
want to. Okay.
Yes. And before I get there, you know, I'm seeing some comments here right now that they're seeing that I think it might be on your wall.
That's okay.
Is that fine? Okay. Otherwise, we can totally pause it and go back in.
I probably would have put on makeup tonight and
as
had a little
usual.
bit more stuff I knew it was going to be on my wall, but I thought, oh, this is a little private event. No one's going to be seeing it. Well, here we go. It's fine.
Well, you look stunning as usual. As usual.
It's a little product called Beautycounter.
Exactly, and it shows. And you know what? Everyone needs to hear this. So, so you know, you basically just answered my first question. It was really kind of what brought you here into this journey. And you know, I know you've been on this journey for a while, but you know, really tell us a little bit about truly the impact of, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it's the least regulated industry. Most people do not realize that. Something I just learned back in January. We talk a lot in this challenge about the 80-20 rule. And we talk, you know, until January of this year, I'll be 42 in February. It took me this long to realize that the 80-20 rule meant more than just what we eat. It's everything that we're exposed to. And you've mentioned before, you taught me a lot about toxic load. And how important that is to understand from this angle. Anything you want to tell us a little bit about, you know, enlighten us a little bit about that?
Sure.
And hormone.
So the way I like to describe it, well, I mean, we can talk about hormone and just endocrine disruptors and things like that, but basically, the easiest way to explain it is everybody's body has their own personal toxic load. You know, mine is going to be different than yours, and yours is different from your child's, and that's what you're genetically predisposed to. And what we're seeing right now, and everybody knows this, is, you know, there's 1 out of 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer and 1 out of 2 men. And the statistics that we're seeing, and all the A's, I call them, like my son, you know, the asthma, the allergies, the autoimmune, that's a big one. You know, why is all this happening? And what we have found is that it's when your body reaches its toxic load that it starts to manifest in some of these ways. And I tell people, you know, I'm not here to tell you that a paraben in your shampoo is going to cause an autoimmune disease. Right. But what I can tell you is that at some point, that toxin could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. So what you want to do is make a conscious decision to reduce the amount of toxins in your life. And like you said, 80-20, sure, it comes with food. I mean, my kids ate Chick-fil-A today. You have to, it's all about balance. But, you know, food is sometimes even harder. You know, there's so much emotion tied up in food. My mother-in-law makes biscuits. Like, I can't say no to that. But when it comes to, you know, what you wash your hair with, or what you wash your face with, or the lotion you're putting on your body, if I could say, here's an easy switch for you, and it doesn't have any of the things that what we believe are toxic, would you be willing to make a switch? And at least you could do 80-20 or even 100% of cleaning up there and start there, because food it really is hard. It's harder. But so at Beautycounter, we ban over 1,500 ingredients and counting from the products that we use. It's called our Never List, and it's more than any other company on the planet. We also, like you said, are a B Corp. So we have a triple bottom line of people, planet, and profits. We're not just worried about making profits, which is, you know, huge. We're worried about the people and the planet as well. I know you touched on that. So we are also a mission-based company. You talked about this at the beginning of the video, and how our mission is to get safer products into the hands of everyone. And that starts just by talking and doing what we're doing tonight and doing what you've been doing these last 21 days and sharing it with people. But the biggest part of what we do being mission-based is creating a movement of voices. And I told you when you asked me to do this, you're like, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, the most important thing that I feel like I can talk about is using your voice. If you have one, if you're watching this tonight, or if you've been watching in the event over the last 3 weeks that you've been doing this, if you're someone who's watching it and you feel like you have a voice or a passion for this, then we have a place for you at Beautycounter, because I don't know about you, but I don't know everybody, right? And you don't know everybody. Same thing. It's like, if you know one person that I don't know that you could share this with, then we need your voice, because it's, a lot of voices are what's going to affect this change that we're looking for in this market.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm learning that more than ever now, the impact of our voices combined, how important that is.
Sure.
So thank you for answering that really, really well. And I get a lot of questions about, what exactly is endocrine disruption? What is hormone disruption? And what does that matter? How does that affect our bodies through our skin? And you have a really great way of explaining that in a way that you don't have to have a, triple degree in chemistry to understand. So enlighten us a little bit on how that works.
How it works. Okay. So this is how it was explained to me when I first heard of Beautycounter. A great friend of mine at the time who was with the company, her name was Mia Davis. She was head of our safety department at the time, and she explained it like this. So your cells have these little receptor sites all around them where hormones are supposed to plug in naturally in the right amounts. Okay. So testosterone plugs in, progesterone, estrogen, they plug into these receptor sites. The problem is when we talk about something like endocrine disruption, when something is an endocrine disruptor or a hormone mimicker, it looks like estrogen. You can also hear them called xenoestrogens, right? Estrogen is also a universal key, which means it can plug into any of the sites. It can plug into the testosterone or progesterone or whatever. So if you have all these sites and they are getting filled up with these hormone mimickers, your body can't tell the difference between its own hormones and things that you're putting on your body that look like hormones. So when you start to see, like we talked about earlier, autoimmune disease, thyroid issues, cancer is a huge one. All of these things.
Fertility.
Infertility is huge. Reproductive issues for sure. And the new average age of puberty in little girls is 8 years old. What's happening? Why is this changing? And I tell people it can come from food, absolutely. You want to buy organic milk, but the thing is, it still has hormones in it. So again, we're back to 80-20. But if you realize that you could eat and drink these things, or you could actually be cutting the largest organ you have with so many more, why not switch to safer and take away these endocrine disruptors? And let me tell you what that looks like when you flip over a bottle. You're going to see the words parabens, any kind of parabens, methyl parabens, propyl parabens, anything with a paraben, that's an endocrine disruptor. Phthalates are endocrine disruptors. You're not going to necessarily see phthalates on the packaging. That's hidden in the word fragrance, okay? Because fragrance is a catch-all term. It's a way to hide trade secrets in the industry, and that's where they put certain things like this. You would have to actually see on the bottle where it says no phthalates. You look at things like Glade plugins, Febreze, dryer sheets, anything scented. Oh God, Tide, anything that's scented. All of that you're smelling, those are phthalates. Those are endocrine disruptors. Easy things that you can do. Go to the EWG, ewg.org, and pull up the laundry detergent list and switch to safers. People tell me all the time I'm using Tide Free and Clear. Well, it might not have the phthalates in it, but it still gets an F in safety. So it's just learning where to go and how to start. And, if you're watching tonight and someone's invited you here and they are a consultant, talk to them because our consultants are so knowledgeable about this and can show you where to go and how to do this. And Chris, if you want to post the link to the EWG in the comments, that's great too.
Sure.
So people can go and there's an app you can get on your phone for safety scores. There's a lot of research that you can do, but it just starts with the decision to switch to safer, which is what you're trying to do with this event and what we're all trying to do collectively here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Answer. And if this is speaking to you and you feel like there's people that you feel like really need to hear this, you can hit that share button right there on the bottom and invite them right on. Because I know off the top of your head right now, you're probably thinking of somebody that really needs to hear this, that you care about. Because I was just blown away by all of this, and I was completely enlightened back in January, and I've learned more and more every single day thanks to people like Christy. I'm so grateful for. Excellent. And so the EWG Environmental, which is the Environmental Working Group, can you give us a little bit of information on what that means for people? I've come across so many friends and friends of friends who've never even heard of the Environmental Working Group. So tell us a little bit about what that is and why people should refer to that for these types of resources.
Okay. Environmental Working Group is actually one of our trusted nonprofits. As a B Corp, back to that, we donate to several. That's one. Healthy Child, Healthy World is another one. The Breast Cancer Prevention Partners, Stand Up to Cancer. There's a lot of different ones. But the EWG, what it is I say they pretty much write the Bible on all things health and safety. Many people watching have probably heard of the Dirty Dozen. That's the 12 fruits and vegetables that you should buy organic. Well, guess where that came from? That came from the EWG. They also have a list of the Clean 15. They put out list of, like I said earlier, any kind of cleaning product. They have bottled water rankings, anything health and safety related as far as consumer. They also have the app that you can get on your phone, and it's called Healthy Living. You can download it right now, and that app has personal care products rated. Like we are actually one of their verified companies, so our products are verified. What you want to see when you go on in their app or on their website into their Skin Deep database is you want to make sure the products you're using have a green score. Either they're verified or they're green. That green means go, right? And then yellow is caution, and red is gotta switch it. So they have the same thing with food too. And the app has the personal care and the food. But if you want things like the laundry detergent or the cleaning products or all the other things we talked about, you have to go to their website because that's where that is. It's kept in a separate place. But they just really are what I feel like the most trusted source for information and guides on health and safety and how to make these decisions to clean up. And it just, like I said, it just starts somewhere. It just starts today, making that decision to switch to safer and swapping out something that you know is toxic. If you know you're using that laundry detergent that you shouldn't be using, you don't have to throw it out right now. But when it's time to go buy another one, just switch to safer. Go to the guide, pull it up. You can actually sort by the safest first and just pick one. I mean, some of my favorites are 7th Generation, Molly Suds. Actually, those are the two that I use the most. But you can find one that works for you.
Absolutely. And little by little, there's so many listed on there with great ratings
Yeah.
as far as detergents. And you find, if you prefer a liquid I've noticed are harder to find that are clean and safe, but there are some as well.
There are.
So there absolutely are. And it's just a matter of getting on there and playing with it a little bit. And at first there's a learning curve on navigating your way around the website. So feel free to reach out with questions, especially like a lot of questions from people as far as what they're using and if I can research it for them, and I just kind of guide them to how to get those answers. Because bottom line, we're about transparency, and unfortunately, this industry is not transparent, and that's what we're trying to show y'all how important that is, and that we actually have to go and seek the information. And what's amazing about Beautycounter is that 100% transparency all the time. Everything is 100%. So,
what you see is what you get, for sure. We pride ourselves on being transparent and for, testing our products all the way through the process from start to finish at every step of the way. And if anything goes wrong, we'll pull a product. I'll share this story that I love about, it's a product that we actually don't have it because this is what happened. But let me explain to you a little bit of difference in organic in this industry and organic in food and why it's not the same. And it will kind of lead into this story. So, okay, there are plenty of things that are organic that are harmful in this industry. Lead is organic. Mercury is organic. Arsenic is organic. And almost 100% of all makeup, color cosmetics that are tested test positive for heavy metals like lead. You can go buy an organic blush, an organic lipstick, and it could still be full of lead. And they're not lying to you because it's organic. We get certificates of purity on all of our products, meaning we have tested for heavy metals. So you can't just trust what the industry says. There is no regulation in this industry at all. They can, I mean, honestly, they can tell you it's organic and it doesn't have to be. But I'm just saying that even if they were, it could still have things that are potentially harmful. And that's where you have to know the difference. So this particular product that was in production, we were going to use organic rose essence for the product. And we had organic roses. They were grown in some country in Europe. I can't remember right now. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so we went and we made the product. And throughout the testing, they found phthalates. And we thought, where in the world would this be coming from? So we started with the production facilities and, you know, are the plastics or are the tubings, where is it coming from? And it ended up that Xavier, who was helping us at the time create this product, ended up going to the field where they grew the roses and realized that when they were cutting the roses, they were collecting them in plastic bags, guys. And the roses, while they were in the plastic bags, were absorbing the phthalates. And even through the extraction process, they could not be removed. So they ended up going back and using paper and burlap sacks to do this. But if it just gets that on a rose, imagine, you know, I've heard people say, well, there's phthalates and parabens in blueberries. Wonder why? What do they put them in, right? Plastic. You have to be careful with your plastics. Yes, you need to soak your fruit. You need to wash your fruit. There's some things that you can't wash away. So it's just about being aware. You know, it's having the conversation, it's starting the conversation. It's demanding better. It's demanding better sourcing. It's demanding transparency with all companies, and that's what Beautycounter is doing. And since we've been doing this, we've already banned. You know, there's more ingredients being banned in the United States than when we started. So that's great. Absolutely. We're making progress.
Absolutely. Exactly. And to piggyback on that brings us to the Personal Care Act, this last topic, and then I'll have one more question for Christy because I know everybody's got things to do, but I could just talk to you all night long. But which brings us to the Personal Care Act in hopes that 5 more ingredients will be banned. One is actually a paraben, propyl paraben, just found in a lot of cosmetics. And it's only 5, but it's progress, you know, compared to 14.
Progress. And other states make more progress than others. And what you have to remember is there is still, I don't want to get into too much with that because there's still so much that has to be done and there's so much litigation. But you look at states like California and Washington State, Oregon, you know, they are definitely more advanced. I also like to, you know, talk about, most people have seen the little butterfly, like the non-GMO verified butterfly, and how that was sort of a grassroots movement, and it started in some of these states and it grows. That is what we're trying to do, and sometimes it starts smaller and it is 5, but we have a long way to go. But something that you can do, if this interests you and you want to lend your voice, whether you want to help us join this mission or whether you just want to say, look, we need more regulation, contact your local representatives. It's so easy. Just call them up. Chris, also, you can, if you want to in the comments, post the number to text Better Beauty, and Beautycounter will send you instructions on what to do so that you can let your local representatives know that this is important and we want this Personal Care Act passed, and we need more than 5 for sure. But it's a start, right? I mean, they used to have smoking on airplanes. They used to have lead in paint. That, you know, you didn't used to have to wear seatbelts. I mean,
asbestos. I mean, we've made progress.
Women couldn't vote, right? And now they can. So yeah, it's it's, you know, it all starts with somebody being passionate about something and people caring enough to lend their voice to it, you know. And if that's why I said, if you feel drawn to this or there's anything we're saying tonight, reach out to someone. I always say there's a place, no matter how big, no matter how small, for you in this mission and in this movement if you're passionate about it.
Absolutely. Which was going to be my last question. Really, it was just going to be, Christy, what is one thing you really feel like you want to say from your heart? And if there's anything else you want to add to that, I figured you probably covered it all, but just one last message you want to leave with everybody before we say goodnight that you want to leave us with.
Okay. Well, I'll go right back to just what I said, and that if you listen to this tonight or you hear something and you go to bed and you are thinking about what we've said, or it's on your heart, or you hear that little voice saying, I feel like I need to do something. I feel like I need to do something. Then do something, right? Because that voice just gets stronger. It's like when I started and I was asked to do this, job, and I said, no, this can't be right. But the more I said no, the stronger it got. And the biggest regret that I have, or anybody ever has, that when I talk to them, is that I didn't do this when I first heard that voice. Because I think about how many more people could you save if it's already affecting you and you think, oh my gosh, I want to do this, and there is somebody that you want to tell them, and let us help you. Let us help you tell them, and let us all do this mission together, because one voice can't do it, and 5 voices can't do it. 5,000 voices can't do it. We're 30,000 strong right now. It's going to take a lot of voices to affect change, and no voice is too small. No voice. So if you have a voice for it, we have a place for you.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you, Christy. So perfectly and eloquently stated, as always.
Thank you, girl.
Awesome. Thanks for being here tonight. And again,
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've got so much going on right now, so this means a lot to me and to so many others. And even if just one person was enlightened tonight, it was successful. So thank you. And of course. And any questions, comments, anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. Feel free to
ask below, tag me. I'm happy to answer questions. If anyone has any questions, Chris, I know you will be too. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, if you hopped on tonight and you were invited by someone else besides myself, then please feel free to reach back out to them as well with any questions, or if you feel called in any way. And we really appreciate everybody being here. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and we will talk soon. This will be posted, so feel free to catch the replay and let us know what you think. Give us your feedback.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Sure. Thanks. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.